Hi guys, I'm Vin. My pronouns are he, they, and I'll be playing Millie, the spooky, who uses they, them pronouns.
Cool, cool, cool. Red.
Hi, I'm Mischievous Red. I use she, her pronouns. I am playing Megan Frost, the Crooked, who also uses she, her pronouns.
Awesome. And Jazz.
What's up, guys? My name is Jazz Brown. I'll be playing my pronouns are she, they, and I'll be playing Mo Jackson, whose pronouns are she, her. She's the professional.
Awesome. And also, as a reminder, this will be a series that focuses on elements of death, loss, and grieving. So please do take care of yourselves if you're watching. It's okay to step away for a moment. Or if it's obviously too much, you can always come back and watch either the VOD or YouTube later as well. So please do take care of yourself. It's okay. And without further ado, we're going to start with our recap. Last week on the Arcane Core, when death calls, Cell S12 travels to the town of Freighton, Pennsylvania, in search of their missing group member and friend Ezra Todd, who has been on a low tier assignment for 5 days total, but has been missing for the last day. You all make it to the AC liaison Keisha Mullen's hunting cabin where Ezra was staying and found a couple of clues to what he had been up to at that time. Not too long after arriving, Mo receives a call from a detective Lucas asking her to come down to the police station to discuss the owner of a phone found at a crime scene. Cordelia, Megan, and Millie travel to the coroner's office to talk about the acting medical examiner there, but find out that there's a body to be identified. Megan makes the identification of friend and teammate Ezra and is able to ask the coroner some questions, as well as find out that there is a black mark on Ezra's wrist. Not sure what that means, but does it mean marked for death? Who's to say? At the same time, Mo is presented with the same information about Ezra's body and makes a mad dash to protect her teammates from identifying the body, but in doing so, walks past a woman that seems distraught on the way out. Megan has a strange encounter with an entity in a mirror named Elle at the morgue. Not only does Elle seem to question the location of a certain dagger, but also decides to request a favor. Sounds simple enough. Find Willow Weaver, the missing coroner, and report to Rose Riddle about them. Upon meeting up and reporting the loss of their teammate to the Arcane Core, you all decide to head back to the cabin to do an info dump and information session. But then Millie senses a large spike of fear coming from the direction of the cemetery. Upon arrival, Cordelia notes the lack of other ghosts in the graveyard, which doesn't make her feel really great. But in response, Mo, Millie, and Megan decide to venture into the graveyard where they find the distraught woman from the police station, Madison Sada, who was trying to find a gold chain despite her fear. And just as Madison shows you the same black mark that you saw on Ezra's wrist, a tall figure draped in cloaks, donning an armor of smoke and shadow, comes storming out of the woods, beelining for Madison. So that's where we're picking up from, kind of. We're going to be going back in time just a little bit to Cordelia, about 4 or 5 minutes before this entire encounter happens. So Cordelia, you're in the SUV with Keisha. You're just kind of floating around, probably vibing, kind of still unsettled about the graveyard situation. You do see some ghosts there. It's not a lot. It's still like a worrying, like it's like 2 there, probably not close enough to have a conversation. But as you're looking around and you're probably just like, I wonder what this is all about. Keisha kind of like makes a weird noise, like, huh.
What was that?
Oh, did you see her lean out like the window? She's probably in the passenger seat. You're in the parking lot next to the graveyard, and she like looks like that looks like Ezra's car over there, actually. And she like points.
Oh, I assume it is. That was out of character. I don't know why I said it in Cordelia's voice.
You're fine. I don't. Let's granted, probably they're getting ready to look for the car, but like, I guess they didn't really think to look for it before.
No, would you mind coming to investigate it with me?
Sure. Yeah. So then both get out, go to the car. You're looking through the window, I'm assuming. They're all rolled up. You see, upon looking into the car, that there's a couple of things. They're not worrying things, but you see 2 books in there in the passenger seat, as well as something you identify as one of Ezra's foci objects. It's what he used to focus magic for heavy duty spellcasting. So he left it in his car, meaning that like he did not feel like he was threatened. Is usually used for like, oh, clearly something's going to happen. But you can't really see what the other books are.
I'm just going to reach through the window and then roll down the window.
And unlock it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just, for one, like, obviously I visually get a vibe from, like, the foci being there that you didn't seem to be too worried. Can I use, like, my empathy ability to try and, like, check out the car, or is it more of a investigative mystery?
That's a good question, but I'm going to say no. It can only work on people. So I would say investigative mystery. Yes. Roll the car. Roll for the car.
That is a 9.
Cool. So one hold. What was she asking me? You're muted if you're talking. You're fine.
Sorry, I was on the other page. I guess what is being concealed here? What are those books? Like,
That's cute. So when you see the books, there are 2 books there. And they are probably books that he bought from a bookstore or something like that. But it's not like Barnes and Nobles or something like that. It seems like it was bought from like he dived for these books in like different he dived for these books. They were probably at like one of those like collectors bookstores that you see that are kind of like steaming with books and piles and like like hard to walk around, but it gives you like a nice vibe. There are 2 books there. 1 second. I thought I had it up and I didn't. Okay, so you see one book of 19th century terms and etiquette there. And then you also see 19th century spiritualism and cult beliefs. So it looks like for the most part, the spiritualism one is the one that has the most wear. So the spine is broken. It looks like it's been read several times. It has a lot of stuff sticking out of it. And since you said what's concealed here, it seems that he was looking into specific rituals, anything having to do with immortality. And he was doing research on that to see, and there's a couple of notes there too about like, is this the one? Is this what Corey went through? Is this the one that Corey did? And like, there's a lot of commentary there. So like, it's like, he's curious and trying to figure out a couple of things about you, it seems like. And then he just started looking through the other one, which is the terms and etiquette, and is trying to understand terminologies having to do with the 19th century, so that he can talk to a certain someone better or understand something better. And there's a lot of underlining thing like, oh shit, that's what that means. Like it's just like highlighting it. So yeah, that's what you see in that car. You pick it up and you read it. Probably take a moment. You good?
Cordelia is, I think she either would like to make those assumptions or is not necessarily making the assumptions.
It's totally understandable. It's just like, no, not me. But it's like, you okay over there? Like,
I'm fine.
What are those? Like, Keisha, like.
Yes, I'm fine. Her voice definitely cracks.
Oh, okay. I mean,
He forgot his focus. His
oh, yeah. Oh,
special
okay. So kind of, since this is, I think, where he was found, I guess he didn't think he was. Okay. You know what? It's fine. It's all good. Cordelia, roll empathy for me.
So 6.
Okay. I gave the choice. So I want to say everything's fine, but it's not fine. So you sense that like that same fear that like Millie was talking about, but it's very mild from where you are. So you're like, oh, that's probably what Millie was talking about. But you don't sense alarm just yet. So hold off. I'm gonna have you roll again later. Are you going back to the SUV in the meantime?
I think that I'm just going to shove the etiquette book aside and then start looking at the rituals one. See if there seems to be anything about anything infernal. Like maybe there's a connection between the two. Probably not. Maybe.
All right, roll and roll just sharp for me. You don't have to like investigate a mystery on that one.
Another 6.
Okay. You are a little shaken by the books that you're seeing. So you are not able to focus enough to figure out if there is anything infernal in there, unfortunately. With that, you're going back to the SUV. Now we're caught up. Unfortunately, Cordelia did not sense that something was wrong. So picking up from where we left off, this towering kind of figure steps out of the wood line, makes a scythe out of shadows and smoke, and is aiming to like twirls it between their fingers absently, but like obviously with purpose, aiming for Madison and getting ready to take a swing. With that, Megan, Millie, Mo, please roll to find out what order you are going in with combat. And
Are we doing the typical 2d6 roll for combat?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And whoever has higher, let me know.
Got a 9.
So you got a 9.
Are we rolling straight or are we adding tough?
We're rolling straight. This is just to find out what order you're going in.
I have an
That's
8.
10.
Right, so Millie. So Millie goes first. Mo, you had a 9.
9.
All right. You're going second. The monster has an 8. And Megan, what do you have?
I have an 8.
Okay, so you're going at the same time. So you'll be working at the same time. So Millie, Mo, monster, Megan. All right. You see, so Millie, you see this thing getting ready to like take a swing at Madison, who is starting to turn in that direction as she notices that you are all staring very wide-eyed at this thing. What are you gonna do?
It's practically reflexive in this moment. They're pretty tense, and to see that happen, I'm gonna go straight into the spooky playbook and use the big whammy.
The big whammy. Okay, so let me pull it up. Go for it.
Cool. Boy, how to big money, no whammies. Oh, that's a 14.
Yes. Okay. So describe how you are using the big whammy on this thing, please.
They have like the gold chain in their hand, and they just like kind of ring it around their wrists, just to like have them free and just silent as death. Haha. This streak of arcane energy just shoots like a silvery glow or silver lightning bolt that's right at this creature.
Awesome. Okay. So you are using the gold chain. So that is already giving the big whammy gives +2. Has 2 harm.
Oh, it's just it's a 2 harm close attack.
Plus the gold chain, which you weren't sure if it was going to work or not. You add 2 onto that. So you just did 4 damage to it. Good for you. So it is getting ready to take a swing. They're getting ready to take a swing. It tumbles backwards upon getting hit and makes a very odd sound. It sounds like several voices at once as it's getting hit and tumbles backwards. And then takes several large lunges backwards once you do that. Madison literally turns around and like screeches. She's like, "Oh my god, what the fuck? That thing, that fucking thing," she says, like pointing. Cordelia, roll again, please. Empathy. I swear to God.
7.
7? Okay. That fear just spiked all of a sudden. And now there's also like a scramble feeling, like shit. So now you can do whatever you want to do. You can like tell me, are you going to like go towards that now? Or
Yes, I am.
you are okay.
I'm
cool.
just going to tell. I'm just gonna grab my partner and run on into the graveyard.
Oh, you're sensing something in there? Is that
yes? Fia,
okay. That's and then like you see Keisha pull out a shotgun as well. And it's like, let's do this thing, and like tumbles out of the car. All right, Mo.
Okay. So Mo will kind of turn around and shove Madison backwards and just be like, "Go on, get out of here. We'll catch up with you. We got a truck back there. Let the people know that we're coming back, okay?"
Okay, thank you. Please be safe. All right, and then she like trots over, like runs like in the same direction where y'all had come from.
I would have liked to use the move, leave no one behind, to help her escape.
Okay. Let me just look at your thing.
I'll grab my 9mm.
So leave no one behind in combat when you help someone escape. Roll sharp. Okay. So I will say you do not have to use it just because Millie put a big whammy on on this thing and it is distracted now. So you do not have to do that. If you want to make whatever roll you want, move you want to do, you can.
I'm just gonna shoot it. Okay, so we know, well, no, because here's the thing is we know that Ezra emptied his clip into what is possibly this thing, and it apparently didn't work. So can I use what would be the most effective ranged weapon against this thing, since I don't have the gold chain?
Did you bring your sniper rifle?
I did.
You can use your sniper rifle.
I'll use my sniper rifle.
If you want to like hold up, like, or like find a place that's a longer distance so that like you can keep
You said it took several steps backwards, right? So I'll start. Okay. Yeah, I'll start jogging backwards. I'll be like, "Millie, come on, we got to get out of here." And
so you're setting up, or you're getting?
Yeah, I'll set up. I'll set up.
Cool. We'll take a little bit.
I'll cover her. I'll cover their retreat and
awesome.
Megan's retreat. I hope. So I don't think we are strong enough to kill this thing. Okay. We don't know what it is yet.
Cool. All right, Megan, you are doing the same thing I'm doing at the same time. So what would you like to do first?
Are we running? Are we fighting? I'm confused. Megan has her shotgun out. Is she close enough to use her shotgun, or is she too far?
If you take one more step, you can probably use it.
She can take one step forward to use a shotgun, because she's kind of confused with what's going on. And there was stealth in the shotgon. Don't know if that matters, but kick some ass.
All right, roll and kick some ass. So do that.
Oh.
Go ahead.
That was a fail.
Oh, okay. Since you initiated like kick some ass, it is traded damage. So when you take a step and you get ready to shoot, you miss. Yep. Or it goes wide. Probably because like, what the fuck is going on? What is this thing? So you completely like shoot around it. instead, they focus on you now because Madison has made her escape. It is going to, let me look, let me find it. Let's see. It is going to take a slash at you with its scythe. So it's going to like roll around its wrist and it's going to slash you. You are going to take 2 points of damage on that one. And then it heals 2 points of damage after taking a hit from you.
Oof.
And you see that like whatever just happened with the gold chain, it seems that because when Millie did what they did, you saw like the shadows kind of bleed away and you can kind of see like some skin over the shoulder. It seems like the shadows went back into place after that.
Gross.
Ew. All right. So now, since you did that, it's the monster's turn. That was just like a traded combat, unfortunately.
The trade.
So it looks at you, and then I want you to roll cool for me. Because it's doing a thing.
That is a 12.
Good for you.
Megan is cool as heck right now.
Good for you.
She's fully grossed out by it. Is like, you don't scare me, you're just disgusting.
So this being turns its gaze on you, and it seems like it's trying to do something. You see the shadows kind of whirl around. Its eyes get wider, brighter, and you see like kind of the glow of a smile, like a large toothy grin, and it seems to stretch a little too far up. It looks disconcerting, but you are fine. So you're like, you're gross is essentially what you're telling you. That's not going to work on me. Fuck you. All right. With that, Cordelia, you are making your way to the group. On your way, you see a woman coming towards you that's very frazzled. And you see that she has near her green streak some white, like starting to bleed through. And she sees, wait, are you, like, can she see you? Actually,
I am visible right now, yes.
do you look like a ghost?
Also, yes.
Okay. Just like a stereotypical ghost. Do you look like a ghost? She sees you, but she also sees Keisha. And she's like, fuck that. Like, no, this is not the time. And then she just like rushes past you, but Keisha tries to make a grab for her. Like, no, it's fine.
Just go with her. Just go with her.
Like, okay. And she like follows after Madison. Hey, it's okay. Don't worry. You know, like you're just seeing things. And like, and Keisha's like trying to like ushering her back to the SUV. Cordelia, I'll let you know when to come in. Millie, it's your turn again.
I know Mo had instructed that Millie should abscond, but they're a little emotional at the moment. So we're gonna go pew pew shooty shooty too with our guns. Let's see. Am I close enough to use my shotgun?
From where you were standing, you pushed them a little too far back, I would say. So if you were taking 2 or 3 steps forward in order to do that.
Okay. Yeah, they'll definitely close the distance.
Okay, cool. So you close in the distance. So you're doing kick some ass?
Yes.
Do the thing.
Oh boy. That's a 9.
Okay. So let me just double check something. So it's still traded, but like let's see. So you're gonna inflict harm on each other. So how much damage does your thing have?
It is 3 harm, close, messy.
So you do 1 point of damage just because it has shadow armor.
Gotcha.
So there's that. So they're gonna also trade again. And they're going to like swirl that scythe. I didn't actually describe what happens when you actually get hit by the scythe. When you get hit by the scythe, it doesn't do any physical damage to you. But you feel like you're a little dislodged is the best way to put it. So it feels like you're kind of experiencing a weird out of body experience, and then you kind of like, it's like your body is literally like a meat suit, and you shift back in as soon as it happens. It feels weird. You take 2 points of damage, and it heals 2 points of damage.
Gotcha.
Good times. Loving this. All right. Mo.
Mo turns around, sees that nobody is following her orders, is disappointed but ultimately unsurprised. She's going to yell, "Get out of the range of that scythe!" And then she's going to post up and use her rifle, her sniper rifle.
All right. Roll kick some ass for me.
10.
10.
Oh, excuse me. 11.
Good. So you have a choice of one other effect there. You can gain advantage, take 1+ forward, or give 1+ forward to another hunter. You can inflict terrible harm, add 1 to your damage. You suffer less harm, so you don't take as much damage, or you force them where you want them. What would you like to happen?
I would like to force them back a few steps.
Okay, so when you do that, you inflict 4, right? 4 damage. Actually, you only inflict 2 because of shadow armor. So it took that, but it definitely pushed them back.
Okay.
It now focuses on you because that was the most damage it's felt. Even if like it was cushioned. Oh, hold on. Okay, so it looks at you, and then it says your full name, Mo Jackson, and it says it it sounds like, again, several voices speaking at the same time. And when you hear it say that, you feel odd, and it feels like your soul just kind of weirdly dislodged itself and came back into your body. And you feel a weird sensation in your wrist.
Gosh, shit. Okay. Cool. Great. No doubt. Sick.
Mm-hmm. Cool. I can't say anything else because it'll be spoiler. So Cordelia, roll for me, please, just to like find out what initiative where you're in.
Just the dice, that is 8.
Okay, so is
We're
that the
in
same with Megan?
8 club.
Yeah, you're in the 8 club. Okay, cool. So Cordelia, you can do something just because you haven't yet. So what would you like to do? You are rolling up on the scene that you see, and you see this ominous figure cloaked in black. It looks like the shadows are moving. You can't see its face. They have green, vibrant eyes and a large grin that's a little too big. It's reaching up too high, and it seems to be glowing in behind the hood that it's wearing.
Oddly enough, I'm actually going to try and read it.
Emotions?
Yes.
Okay. Go. Please.
That's a level up because that's 5 again.
Hey, like okay, so you failed, but you do not sense anything from it right now. But you might be able to try later. Unfortunately, that will be your move. Yes.
Yeah, no, the move does say, I just want to remind you that I'm overwhelmed with emotion.
Oh,
and
right, yes.
if it's the more monstrous, the worse it is to do this with.
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me see how monstrous this is. All right, so you try to read them. And what ends up happening is that there's a vast pit of emptiness that you're sensing right now. It could be that like you're not able to read them well enough, or there might be a safeguard of some sort, but you're getting vast emptiness on that one. And it's the most empty you've ever felt in any capacity, not even when you were invisible, when you first like were dislocated and no one's talking to you because they couldn't see you. This is like the abyss. This feels odd. I don't know. Like, let me look at your thing again. 1 second. Nothing like I don't like put a condition on you or anything like that, right? It's just like you're overwhelmed, right? Okay, so
Yep.
okay, that's it. I'm going to probably do something next time it's your turn, but we'll see. Megan.
Okay. Megan is going to put her shotgun back, hold up the big ornate blade. Like she's like
Okay.
right in front of the scythe guy, the monster, right? She's like right in front of it.
You're right in
Okay.
front of it.
She's gonna like have like the tip of the knife point at the ground in front of it, and she's gonna try and use that as like a focus of a sort to use magic to trap it temporarily.
Okay, roll use magic. I didn't expect you to use it that way, but let's go.
I mean, I had to do something with it, and obviously we can't do. We're struggling. That is a 10.
Cool. All right. So you do not have to do a glitch. I'm loving that everyone that has used magic so far has not used a glitch yet. I am waiting for the opportunity. But so what ends up happening, and I'll ask people to roll in a second for this to see what's happening. But you, Megan, see that when you put the blade down to the ground, I'm assuming you're bending down to activate this. The blade has blended metal, so it looks like it's metal separated out, kind of like rivulets is the best way to put it. I forgot what kind of blade, like metal that is, but it looks like that kind of metal, but it suddenly shifts to gold in response to that, and a goldish hue like kind of pushes out in front of it, and it stops it from moving or attacking at that moment. Everyone else roll sharp to see if you notice that.
While
No.
they're all deciding or rolling, Megan says like a quick like, I hate that I owe L, but I'm glad that they taught me this.
Yes. So, Mo. Everyone tell me. Yeah.
I got a 6.
8.
Okay.
11.
Cool. So wonderful. I love this. So Mo, you're too far back, so you did not see this. You were post up with your sniper rifle. Cordelia, you notice a bit of the golden sheen, and you're kind of curious what that is, but you think Megan knew some magic already, so you're not entirely like okay, whatever. That's new, but they've probably been learning. Awesome. Millie, you see this dagger. I think you're also close enough because you both are like the closest, I think, to the monster. You see the blade, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that thing. I don't know when she got it, but like righteous, right? Is what you thought. And then you see it changing metal color. You see that there's like a protective shield that's like now bubbling around, like separating you two, essentially, separating y'all from the monster. And you hear Megan say, I'm glad Elle taught me this. And yeah, because you got 11. So like I was just like, so you hear all of that. I was gonna have the monster do it, but now you trapped it. So let me check something.
Well, I will also say that like Megan will be like, okay, we gotta go. Like this thing is healing too quickly.
Mm-hmm. Cool. The monster's still gonna go, and then you definitely can. So 1 second. It is gonna call Mo Jackson again. And this time, Mo, it feels like you literally have an out-of-body experience. So you see yourself for a split second, and then your soul goes right back into your body. You know for a fact that your spirit just dislodged itself. You're not sure what's going to happen if they say it again.
Time to go.
So y'all are turning around and getting ready to run for it. As you do, like, are you all are getting ready to leave? Like, it's time to go. Like, we out here. So what is gonna happen as you're doing that? You see a woman kind of walking your way. They look kind of like how Cordelia looks, like they look like a ghost, essentially. But there's something a little different about, like, a little too solid, a little too ethereal, like it's like on high, like on steroids, ghostly ethereal is the best way to put it. It looks like they kind of came, if like the path, like they're not coming down the same path y'all came out of. It looks like they kind of came out another side of where the woods is, I guess is the best way to put it. And they're you might be a little concerned because you're not entirely sure what they are. They are looking like going for y'all, but as they roll up on you and you might be getting ready to do something, they ignore you. As they're passing, they make a look to Millie for a quick second, but then they keep going. And just as like your shield is getting ready to go down, Megan, it looks like, because you're all still booking it, you hear a very ear-piercing scream. And I'm going to have you all roll something. Give me a second. Can you all roll tough for me as you're running? Lay it on me.
7.
12.
7.
8.
2.
Damn. All right.
Oof.
So anyone that had 7 to 9, you take one -1 on the next roll you have. So like hold on to that. So next time you roll, lose 1. Anyone that had more than 10, you're fine. It's annoying as hell, that sound. And it sounds so like reverberating through your head, but you're fine. Millie, you're going to take -1 on all rolls until you leave the scene, which is about to happen anyway. So don't even trip. But that would have sucked. Is the best way to put it. Okay. Yeah. So okay. So like, got you. Yep. So you're running. You're on your way there. You get to the SUV. Y'all essentially get into the SUV, I'm assuming. You see see Madison there, essentially, as well as Keisha. Y'all are kind of squeezed tight. Madison's kind of freaking out because there's a ghost in the car, or something that looks like a ghost. It's like, okay, I don't know what's going on. This is the weirdest week. Are we going? Like, are we leaving? We're not staying here, right?
I'm already throwing it into reverse.
Drive, Mo.
Okay.
Yeah, we leaving.
All right, say all out. Just as you're doing that, you hear the tail end of the scream again, but it doesn't do any effect. It seems like, no one needs to roll for this. It seems like this thing was trying to stop what y'all are facing, or push it back, or whatever it might be. Because being full force with that scream probably would do something. But seemed like they were trying to protect you, is the best way to put it. I have no idea who it is, though. All right, where are y'all headed? Where are y'all speeding off to?
Keisha, we're going back to the cabin?
Sounds about right, the right decision. I think so.
I will subtly pull my sleeve over my wrist and speed off to the cabin.
Does Megan notice that?
You can roll sharp to see.
7.
You notice it, but you're not sure if that's for a reason or not.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say like, aha, what is that? Just more like, okay, that's weird, but all right, whatever. We just dealt with a whole bunch of stuff. All right. So y'all are driving back to the cabin. Mo, your phone rings.
Answer it.
Hey, this is Detective Lucius again. I just wanted to like call, and I originally wanted to like apologize essentially for the meeting earlier today, but it was because obviously your friend passed away, and I'm really sorry about that. But I felt like we needed to have a discussion about that because there is information I do have to share with you about what Ezra talked to me about, and I don't know if you can come down to the station later today, tomorrow would be very helpful.
It's like 8 o'clock.
It's not, it's like 5.
It's like 5 o'clock.
It's like, yeah, I know. It's just that this is very important. I'm kind of on edge a little bit because a witness was supposed to go home and she's not there when I went to check on her. And
Witness? You didn't say there was a witness.
Yeah, she was at the station earlier before you came in.
I will side glance Madison.
Madison side glances back. It's just like, and Madison's like, what?
Okay, let me get back to you on that. Yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow sounds good. Thanks, Damien.
Okay. I mean, it would be better if I meet up now because like I need to, like, I'm gonna try to track her down. I have no idea where she is, but like she was kind of shaken and I want to make sure she's safe. So
yep. Sounds like a plan. You do that. Okay,
that's
tomorrow,
not what
click.
So that happens in the car and Madison's like, what was that?
Damien Lucas, that detective. You know that detective, right? Yeah, he's looking for you.
Yeah.
We need to talk before you talk to the detective.
Okay, that sounds suspicious. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Megan's gonna turn around. Are you gonna tell the detective about that thing you just saw and expect him to believe you?
I mean, I already did.
Did he believe you the first time?
He was concerned, but
For your well-being.
For my well-being, but he like kind of like a light bulb went off where he like was just like, what? Like, tell me more, but also that's weird. But like, I don't know. He told me to just say like it was probably like a person in black like stalking you through the woods, and that's something to be concerned about for sure.
Did you get the feeling that he believed you?
Kind of, like, not that like he knew anything about what it was, or but just something weird's going on, and that just was like the icing on the cake to make it more weird. And he might have already had like a feeling something was wrong. He was already kind of worried about what happened to Herman. So
Keisha, do you know anything about this detective? Does he know?
Know what?
About
About weird shit like that, pointing back to like the graveyard as you were driving
yeah,
by.
spooky shit.
I don't think so. I just think that like if everything's explained away and nothing real makes sense anymore, it's kind of look into the unknown a little bit. I trust him though.
You trust him. Then I guess I'll hear him out. But tomorrow, first we gotta lick our wounds, talk, and get this figured out. Because I don't know what that was, but I ain't never seen anything like it before.
Me either. It's kind of terrifying, but I'm glad y'all were here. So thank you for saving me.
You okay?
Welcome.
Is everybody okay?
Madison's
Anyone?
like, y'all just have a ghost just chilling. Like,
oh yeah,
this.
yeah. We tried to tell her to go away, but she won't. So.
Oh.
You fed
Her
me
name's
wrong.
Casper.
It is not.
It's okay.
Cordelia Bennett. Pleasure to meet you.
Likewise, pleasure. Yes. So, where am I going? Am I going to stay with you 4, 5 random strangers?
Would you rather go back? We could drop you back off where we found you.
Well, no, don't bring it back to I have a house. Like,
How did that thing find you? Is it tracking you?
I don't know. Like, I literally just saw it the other day. Like, that's the first time I've seen it. And I was in the woods, I was doing foraging and was trying to get stuff for my business. I do like horticulture and stuff like that. And it found me in the woods.
How'd it give you that mark?
It said my name. They knew my name already. That's what I'm assuming, because as soon as I just felt so weird afterwards.
Did we hear it call Mo's name?
Mhm.
Looks to Mo.
I look back at you.
Eyes on the road. Got something you need to tell us?
No, I don't.
Look, if we can cut the
Awkward.
hijinks once, please. This is literal life or death here.
It's not important as long as we don't run into it and we don't get close to it. We got to figure out what it is first, and then we tackle this as a team, like we always do. Understood?
Yes, Mom.
Wait.
Is
I'm
this-
trying to be serious for once. That
is
thing.
this what you
Sorry.
guys do? Like, is this a normal occurrence? Is this like a normal Monday for y'all?
Well, no, one of us is dead. But yeah, for the most part.
Okay. So I guess my life's in your hands. Literally.
If it's any condolence, or I guess reassurance, we are the most capable hands, I would say, in this town for you to be in at the moment.
I appreciate that, Cordelia. I'm talking to a ghost. Okay, so if unless there's anything else anyone wants to do, we're going to say that we get to the cabin. Keisha like bolts out of the SUV just as you're parking, so it's almost as if you don't fully park before Keisha like gets out of the car, storms into the cabin, and motions you all in essentially. And then like as you do that, I'm assuming she activates like a panel on the inside of the door, like essentially on the side of the door. It's not a light switch or anything like that. It just looks like a sigil of some sort. She's gonna like smooth over it, and it's going to turn the entire cabin into a panic room, which is what we had all agreed would be the hunting cabin. So in this case, all of your magic energy is turned off. So Cordelia, you feel a little weird, but you're fine because you're inside, not outside. And Keisha's like, okay, that should at least keep it at bay for the night. Whatever it is, like this is like it's not getting in here. We're all fine, no matter what entity it is. Oh boy. Okay. What the fuck was that? Keisha says after like turning around to look at y'all.
Do we know anything about what's weak to gold? I mean, that doesn't sound demonic or infernal.
I mean, gold has often symbolized a higher power or holiness, and so it could be infernal.
I always heard soul.
I mean, that too, but I don't know. It felt so empty. I tried to read it. It was not my best idea.
All right, so I'm gonna, and then like you see Madison, like is there somewhere I can sit, or do you have food or a drink? Actually, like, do you have a drink? And Keisha pipes up, is like, oh yeah, tequila, and whiskey, your choice, like dark or light liquor. it's up to you. And Madison just grabs at the tequila and takes a seat in front of the living room coffee table. Probably one of the armchairs that's still like single. And y'all are settled for night. It's up to you. So you can do whatever you want here, is what I'm going to say. So like there's still stuff to investigate, and y'all just got a lot of information. And also wrestling with the loss of Ezra at the moment. I will say, Millie, you hear that voice again in the back of your head. And it says like, see, I told you. Megan is acting weird. And you saw what she did. When did she get a magic knife? That's weird. That's a secret that we need to find out about. And you have to, or else I will take my gifts back. And you feel your sight kind of start to diminish a little bit at that, as if threatening to do that.
And they're not going to react physically. They're just going to try to center themselves, not necessarily ignore the voice, but try to focus on something else.
What would you like to focus on?
Boy, our good old party boy, rest in peace.
All right. So what does everyone want to do? So you can do you can talk to Madison, and you also have a lot of things to go through, my understanding. Mo, you have Ezra's notebook. Y'all found out a lot of things from the corner. So let's discuss.
I want to try and use the lore library to kind of put together like what we found with like the black marks, and the weakness to gold, and like the name thing overall, I guess, and try and identify like potentially what this is.
Okay, so if you go into the lore library, I think you get a +1 on investigating the mystery. With that. So you go over, you see that like Ezra had pulled out 3 books, if you remember correctly. So it was Rituals, Infernals, and Folklore are the books that he pulled out. He had just started looking through the Folklore books, but not as much as the Infernal. Roll investigate. Are you gonna like? I would say that you feel that you should look at the Folklore book, as well as Infernal. So you want to kind of compare. So I would say roll investigate mystery for me right now.
I have, and I get a +1 for that too.
Mhm.
I have a 13.
Good for you. You can ask me 2 questions.
Okay. So what sort of creature is it?
It is not an infernal creature. You know that for a fact now. Yes, gold is symbolic of something holy. It could be used against a lot of things that are by nature like born of darkness or born of like negative energy. That doesn't necessarily that it stays that way, it's just born of it. So it is just a no weakness for a lot of things in that regard. In terms of what you feel like it might be, it is like a folkloric type of entity, but you're not sure in what sense or where it might come from yet. What you are leaning towards at the moment, when you look deeper into the folklore book, is that like it is an entity that is born from death in some capacity. So a lot of people would attribute it to a reaper, probably.
Yeah.
But you're not sure if it is a reaper or not. You would have to do a little bit more research into that.
Can I use the second question to do what sort of creature is it for like the ghost that came and screamed?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you know exactly what that was because like it was, you've never seen one before, but it was kind of obvious seeing it. That's a banshee. That was a banshee that came through, which is a type of fae. And its weakness would be iron, definitely cold iron. And let me just double check something. I feel like there was like might be another thing. Or not. Gold also works against it, as well as there might be a type of herb that would be used to help with not necessarily defeating it or anything like that, but disrupting it. You're just not sure what herb that is.
And this may be a no because I've asked my 2 questions, but would that kind of give any indication for like why they'd be opposed at all? Or like seem like they'd be opposed? Okay.
You like roll sharp, just a general sharp.
That's a 9.
Dope. So it's weird that they're opposed because they work in the same areas to each other. So like a banshee is known for obviously like marking when someone's going, not mark someone for death, but like
death.
Oh, mourning the loss of someone that's getting ready to die. So that's why they're wailing. Very much of an empathetic type of being, even though they're very terrifying. They would work with or work in tangential with a reaper type of being, or a being that is known for taking souls or something like that. But it's weird that they're opposed in this instance. All right. If we're going to go like through this, we're going to go down the line of things that people want to do investigation wise. So Mo, what you doing?
I'll look through Ezra's journal.
Okay, good. So when you open it, and then I'll like have you roll in a second. Just gonna like look up the clues that y'all have. When you get to the book, it's got several pages of notes that he has for this case already. You know that the reason why Detective Damien like could not read it, it was jumbled text. He said it was probably having something to do with different languages. The reason why is because Ezra is extremely paranoid and definitely enchanted the book so that only certain people can read it. Naturally, you guys can read it just fine. So I would say rule 2. Let's see, a mystery for me for this book.
I have -1 on this roll.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
That's all good. No.
Okay.
I got a 3.
Okay. I'll give you something, but it might not make sense. So you see that he definitely took notes on the 2 victims that had passed away, extensive notes. And you notice that there are pages that you can't read, which is not normal because you should all be able to read it. But for some reason, there are pages that are jumbled for you.
Can I show it to somebody?
Yeah,
Can you read this? Who's closest to me?
I'm going to say you choose who reads it. Who do you want to read it?
Megan,
Okay.
Can you read this?
Can I read it?
You can read the part where like everyone can read it. And yeah, you can also read that part that Mo could not read.
Okay. What's it say?
All right, so I'm going to have you also roll. I'm going to have you roll 2 investigative mysteries, one for the general notebook information, and then another for your part.
Okay, so 9 for the first one,
Cool. So 1 hold for that.
and then a 12 for the second one.
Perfect. Awesome.
Eyes are
Love
getting
to-
mad.
Love to see it. All right, so I'm assuming what's concealed here, unless there's another question you want asked for this section of the book.
Yeah, what's concealed here?
All right. So what you see for the whole team's enchanted part, you see extensive notes about the 2 victims. So the first victim was retired Dr. Gwen Eve Reynolds. Lived here for 10 years. Passed away in her sleep. She was known as an extremely philanthropic, always giving back, was known for her abnormally high success rate in heart surgeries. So she was a heart surgeon. But Ezra notes that like that's a very high number of successes and thinks it's weird, but it didn't do too much research into it. So like was very much setting up foundations for heart disease and cancer and stuff like that, where she lived. She lived in the city and moved out to be closer to family in this town and has been here for 10 years. For the other victim, Herman Mayer, he was known for volunteering a lot. It seemed that like Ezra took a longer time to figure out what this guy's deal was because he kind of appeared and was just being very giving back, like always like wanting to help. It was a point where people were like, he's really nice. I wonder why, kind of thing. Like it felt like he did something and he felt like he needed to fill in that void. And he eventually found out that he suddenly came into a lot of money, like a lot, kind of randomly. You're not sure if this was like inheritance, business venture, but suddenly just was good on money, like got money for days, right? And he was using it for himself. But then suddenly he moves to this town, he does a 180, he uses his money to travel to help people in different places. And that's odd. But hey, some people go through things, near-death experiences, or like anything can change someone's mind or mindset this way, especially someone that might have been extremely greedy and suddenly isn't. And then you also, there is one other part of the general notes for the whole team, and it's his itinerary for the last day before he died. I'm going to have you roll for that one again in a second.
Okay.
But your enchantment for you, that only you can read. Ezra is very mad with you, extremely mad. You see him it seems like he was trying to write out things to tell you, essentially, or talk to you about, what the fuck, Meg? Why would you do something and then crossed out, right, no, chill, calm down. Okay, no, listen, so he's debating what to write to you or what he should talk to you about. But eventually he's like, all right, listen, I took notes on who this chick is that you talked about, this Elle you told me about. I am not sure why you would even consider talking to something like this and just making deals with it. He's just going off and on tangent and writing. And then he writes that did research on it. Elle is either a goddess, a demigoddess, or some type of high-level fae. And I don't know shit about fae, so I can't help you. But if it is a goddess, all you have to do is be true to your word and you're fine. And then it ends with, don't fuck with goddesses, Meg. Holy shit. WTF. And it just looked like it's the most chaotic scribbling he's ever done, where it's just his brain's just he had a moment where he's I can't fucking, what the fuck? And he just as he's doing research, he's probably taking notes and then scribbling out. He never intended for you to read this, but he was planning on having a meeting with you probably at some point because he was doing research into your predicament.
Do I get the feeling it's like connected to what's happening here? Like the goddess is the one that's okay.
No.
Okay.
Like you don't get that vibe. You get the fact that like
He thinks I messed up, but I didn't cause his
yeah,
death
he's disappointed in
directly.
you, but also like he doesn't understand why you did what you did is the
Yeah.
best way to put it. But he's like, like, hey, but if you could just do the thing that you did, if it's literally giving her what she wants and like fulfilling a favor, and hopefully she doesn't ask you to do anything like crazy, cool. Like is how he feels, because goddesses don't, they're not tricky, I guess. They're just like kind of, I said what I said, do what I said. Is the best way to put it.
Are Fae known for being tricky?
Yes.
Okay. 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 I was like, what world logic do we have here? Okay, Fae are known for being tricky then.
Yeah, like if like, but he knows nothing about Fae. So like all you know
Yeah.
is that like all you know about Fae, and I think everyone probably in the org would probably know this. They are very unpredictable. So you have no idea
Cool, cool, cool.
if they read what you said is what you said.
Cool, 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 cool.
Dope. All right. I'm going to go to Cordelia, and then I'm going to go to Millie. What would you like to do, Cordelia?
I think that for one, Cordelia has not let go of the foci, and it's just been. Can I ask what it is?
Yes,
Like,
I
it's like-
didn't describe it. My bad. So it is like a glove, but like a fingerless glove, and it has like a whole bunch of runes like kind of etched into it. And in the center of the palm, there's like a focus crystal of some sort. And it looks very iridescent. You know that Ezra has normally has a foci embedded in his hands. So like he has like tattooed hands. One of his hands is tattooed. He would put the foci on his other one to kind of balance it out, and it would give him an extra boost in combat.
Gotcha. I'm actually going to go over to Millie and hey, how are you holding up?
I mean, I'm here, but that's physically, if anything. You?
Not well, if I'm being honest, but we
I
missed
mean,
that.
at least one of us are.
We did miss something right outside the graveyard. Ezra's car was still there, and so I took the liberty of checking it out with Keisha. And for one, here you go. And I'll hand over the glove. It's not much, but it's something.
I mean, are you sure you don't want to keep? It's fine if you want it. Like,
I don't know if I have much use of it. I mean, I tried magic once, and look where it got me.
I guess. And they're gonna put it on and like wrap the gold necklace like a bracelet.
It's like a gold necklace, but you can like double it over if you want to around your wrist.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay.
Sure. I guess I'll keep it.
I mean, if you don't want it, I will take it, but
I'll see what happens, and if I become a ghost, then you can certainly have it. How about that?
he was also. I found some other books in his car that some were dealing with immortality, and I guess that trying to find what exact ritual I performed. You shouldn't run into that issue, but yes.
Okay. Well, thanks. I'm probably going to wind down from this, at least for tonight. But thanks, Cordelia.
Millie?
Of course.
Your sight activates on the glove. And it's a very warm, happy feeling. You know, Ezra liked to perform magic and he was focused on elemental magic. It feels natural and warm and something that he does is like hundreds of times, like always like inscribing the air with these different sigils. And it's a very warm, positive memory of feeling those movements and those gestures that he used to do. It's a very different feeling and a more positive feeling than what you felt with from his wallet. You kind of prefer this one over the other one.
And it almost feels alien to feel any glimpse of joy or positive emotion in this moment. But they're gonna ride with it, vibe for a hot second. I want to use magic to heal and then rest the other one off, if that's okay.
Yes. Roll magic for me. Use magic.
All right, let's go, baby. That is a 9.
All right, it works imperfectly. Choose your glitch, please.
I help
Yes.
out?
Oh yeah, you can totally help out. Roll the help out roll, please, to get it boosted above, please.
I don't remember what I add to that, but that's 2 nat 6s. So
You're fine. So yeah, you are able to get it to 10. So you're able to heal 1 harm. If you want to describe what that looks like, you totally can. How you heal.
Since like this sort of damage they took wasn't necessarily physical, they're gonna keep going with like the silvery glow and just like place their hand where the scythe supposedly connected with their physical body and just meditate on that spot and then find a place to conk out.
When you do that, it feels like if this was like a paper cutout of some like a person's body, it feels like someone cut your tie to your hands and was getting ready to cut off the tie to your feet. So it's kind of like actively severing your soul from where it's attached to your mortal physical body. You heal those separations is the best way to put it. And you're able to meditate on that. You heal 1 harm from that. Is there anything else anyone wanted to do? I think I'm going to say, Megan, you bring the notebook over to Mo and Cordelia. And if Millie wants to stay before going to bed, totally can do that as well. To go through Ezra's itinerary of the last day that he was with y'all, fortunately. So, hold on. So, last day plan. You see that he met up with the detective and talked to him about Herman, as well as the missing person, Willow. Met with Rose Riddle at the community center, where you like try to figure out, oh, grief counselor, that's probably where she meets up with people, whether it's like one-on-one or group meetings, not sure, because you're not there, you have not gone yet, obviously. Drops by the cabin to do research real quick on rituals. And wanted to look into rituals having to do with necrotic energy, sorry. Goes to the cemetery. And then you see that he notes a couple of sigils that he saw when he went to the ritual site, and was going to do research on them later, but didn't know what they meant yet. Notes that he doesn't know what the sigils are, but that's kind of weird because he's pretty good at knowing sigils without having to refer to anything. So he was like, oh, and then put several question marks next to that. Notes that he's going to reach out. He said at this point, reach out to the court was his next step to call for backup, because he realized that this is not a magical disturbance anymore. That there was probably an entity. And then the writing abruptly cuts off. there's that. So you have all that information of what his schedule was like throughout the day before he went missing and obviously led to his death. Anything people want to do with that?
I wanted to check over Megan. Did you get hurt? I can't remember if you did or not.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. I wanted to check you over and see if you needed any help in that area.
It's a minor first. Well, I don't know. I was gonna say first aid, but it's like a soul wound. I don't know if first aid works for that.
More second aid.
I'm going to say that if you wanted to do something similar to Millie, where you meditate on it, kind of, because you both got, no, you didn't. Well, not like physically hit. You got just like,
No, I got soul sucked.
if you want to do healing, you can, but you could also sleep off that injury as well to reconnect yourself. So that's totally fine. It's up to you.
I was just going to offer my help if you needed it. That's all.
I appreciate it. I'm more concerned about you though.
I'm fine. No harm, no foul.
Megan reaches for Mo's sleeve.
I'll pull it back. We're just going to give you a warning look because we both know.
You should tell the group.
And do what exactly? Sit this out?
I don't know. We need to figure out something. I never said sit it out, but the more information about this entity we have, the better. Including who's affected.
I'm affected. Madison's affected. Ezra was
waves
affected.
from the chair.
Making ghosts are like all the information about the other victims with them. I don't know if like that was said that she was going over that with them, but she's going over all the information with them about the victims.
Mm-hmm.
Including the bit, also what she found in the lore books about it being not infernal at all. It's honestly just like death. That's the closest thing I've seen for it. In the other entity, which y'all may have guessed was a banshee, but I've never seen them at or heard of them being at opposites before.
That's weird. Maybe we can track the banshee down. Try to get answers that way.
You think the banshee's gonna answer us?
Not even a little bit, but it protected us. It held that thing off so we could escape. Obviously, something's going down. I don't know if we want to get in the middle of it. But
I mean,
and I kind of just hold up my wrist. Clearly, we are. So
I don't know if the banshee's the way to go.
we got a couple other options. Could talk to the detective.
The grief counselor.
The grief counselor. Talk more to Madison. Maybe
You're
we can
quiet.
get. Sorry, go ahead.
So you're quiet, Cordelia. Are you okay?
I mean, overall, no, but in the moment, I'm just sort of lost in thought, I guess. We didn't really have a moment to talk about it, but the current medical examiner did. There was something in the back of his mind about, oh, I hope they don't find out. I don't know if it's because he was slacking off on the job, or if it was something more sinister. But I mean, that is another thing that we could inquire about. And if you do end up going to go see the detective again, I would like to tag along, and perhaps I could gain a bit more insight there.
Yeah, I was thinking that might be a good idea. At the very least, we could use Ezra's cell phone. I left it back there at the room
Station.
station. What's
I
it called?
can-
It's not an interrogation room. What was it called?
It's like a conference room.
Conference
Like
room.
there's there's an interrogation room, and then there's a conference room that's usually like a little bit more warmer and inviting. Like there's
Yeah.
windows and shit. But yeah, look left in the conference room.
I can definitely steal that while we're there.
Let's call it borrow. Or, well, we're not giving it back.
We're taking back what's our friends. I mean,
It is, I mean, more hours than it was the detectives, I am just saying.
also, let's be honest here, we're probably better equipped to investigate this, though it is interesting that he didn't immediately write off.
It is. I'm gonna try to see if I can figure out what that's about.
Also, I mean, there are a few things that I don't know how they all link in. I mean, for one, I did tell Millie that we all did miss Ezra's car in the cemetery, and I found some books, and I found one of his foci. Little more than that. Not entirely sure how the books link into it, but I mean, for the foci, it made sense that he didn't think to be encountering anything. And then also there was the keychain. It was a Polaris keychain. I don't.
Oh, and Meg pulls it out of her pocket.
Mo, you see that?
Can I see that?
Hands it over.
Just kind of run my thumb over it. Such a cheeky little bastard. It's nothing. It's mine.
I mean, anything other than that, or
Yes. Ongoing joke. That's all.
Mo, your phone rings. People are just calling you all day.
Yeah. Busy gal. I answer it.
It's Theo. Mo,
Theo.
Are
Got something
you-
for me?
are you alone?
I can be.
Please.
I'll be right back. Where is there a place to be alone around? Is it just
There's
outside?
like two different like bedrooms that probably have like two like twin beds. So like you can go to one of those rooms and that's empty.
All right, I'll go in one of those rooms.
Give me 1 second. I'm pulling something up. Where is it? Oh, right, it's right here. My bad. So, and you hear like Theo pause for a moment. So there was a message sent out from Ezra's phone upon turning back on. And we were doing scans for anomalies to make sure that there was no several layered disruption of any sort that could do harm over time. You know how we do.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing he sent was a recording.
Okay, you got it? Are you
I
gonna play
do.
it for me?
Did you want to hear it?
Have you heard it already?
Yes.
Yeah, lay it on me.
Okay, so he's going to play see if I can do this. Hold on. Ezra Todd, Seeger Branch. I think I might have miscalculated. Yeah, shocker. I know. I should have called you all as soon as I saw that this wasn't an MD anymore, but I thought I could handle it. I thought it was an infernal. Someone summoned them as a means to collect necrotic energy for some reason. I know now that that's so far off the mark. They weren't trying to summon something. They were trying to lure something. I'm not sure what. I took some photos. I have a few sigils that I drew in my notebook, and the rest is up to you all. I'm sorry. I don't think I'm going to be coming back from this. I fucked up. And then you hear like stuff in the background. It sounds like heavy footsteps. And then you can kind of hear shuffling. And you assume that like probably Ezra's trying to hide or shift positions is the best way to put it. You kind of hear the mic scribbling. I don't think I have much time. I was able to put a magic tracker on it. So Mills might be able to locate it when you get here. I wish I had more, but I don't. The only thing that I can warn y'all is that don't use your actual names like in any space. Like I didn't, me, but I'm pretty certain someone got my ID. I don't know when it was taken, but I'm pretty certain that's why. And then you hear a voice in the background. It sounds really faint and far away. Fuck, okay. Mo, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said what I said. It was a dick move. And I should have just let you come with me. Mills, please don't blame yourself. We both have hard heads, mine harder than yours, and we both know it. Please be careful looking for the source of your magic. Just in general. Corey, I wish I got to talk with you more about spiritualism in the 1850s. I also wish, I just wish I told you more. And Meg, keep aiming to be good, okay? You've come such a long way. And please, for the love of God, tell them about the deal. You're going to, and then you hear a sudden whoosh sound and a shuffle. And you hear a voice in the background saying, I found you, Ezra. And then you hear him curse and then suddenly panting. It sounds like he's running. And then the sound cuts off right there. And with that, we're going to go to break, everyone. welcome back. We left off of another cliffhanger. I just noticed that people are saying I'm the queen of cliffhangers, and I'm loving it. So, but let's pick up from where we left off. So after that happens, you listen to the audio clip of essentially Ezra's last few moments. You're kind of overwhelmed. I can imagine that, like, up to you, but like I feel like you would want to go to bed after that. You probably like kind of rush past the room, like, hey, yeah, no, I'm going to bed, unless there's something else you wanted to do.
I actually wanted to talk to Theo about a couple of things.
Okay, go for it.
First, though, I mean, Mo is standing, and now she just kind of sinks onto the bed, just like exhausted, just like all of a sudden exhausted, and she just kind of puts her face in her hands and she says, okay, all right.
You're not okay.
No, but I gotta be. So, what do you know? Two things. What do you know about death, Reapers?
Reapers. Roll your team move.
Yeah.
Most just rolling the team move over and over. Let's go.
I'm using Theo for what they're used for. Where is it? There it is. Oh, spicy. 9.
Wait, no?
Said 9.
Oh, 9. I was about to say, like, no.
Oh, excuse me. 10.
Well,
10.
You got to, he gives you like a full description then.
Mhm.
So Theo, they pause for a moment. Reapers are not something we normally deal with. Reapers are neutral entities. Normally, you do not see them. No one sees them. They are beings that only come to those that will die. Is that what confirmation do you have that would make you think that it's a Reaper?
Had a big ass scythe. Other things too. I mean, it would say a name and then seem to pull the soul out from the body.
All right. So when you said scythe, he laughed. Like he actively like chuckled. It was like no, Reapers don't do that. Like he says, like Reapers, there's like when you see the Grim Reaper, everyone has like the understanding that like a Grim Reaper visually throughout history, dark robes with a scythe. That's not what death looks like. But that's what a lot of people think it looks like.
I am so afraid of why they feel like they know that.
But in terms of the calling names and separating from the body, there's a lot of things that could do that. There are some infernal demons that can do that, but that would require a high level summon, a lot of prep work for that, and the means to capture it, which is kind of hard to do personally. And with the amount of magical energy that was used when you got there, before you got there, that doesn't match with summoning a high level demon like that.
Okay.
But based off of what Ezra said, a lure, right?
Yeah.
Names hold power for a lot of things. And then on top of that, luring something. That means that this entity was already naturally occurring. My guess, I'll do more research into it. My guess is that it looks like a normal human sometimes.
So it might be someone in this town.
Correct.
Damn.
Also, if it's a Reaper type of entity, something that can take souls, it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing at all. Like, this is not normal for its day-to-day. This is a little too obvious, is the best way to put it. If it was claiming souls, it doesn't do it for the heck of it. Ezra, my understanding, he died before his time. He was not marked for death. Like, naturally marked for death.
But he had one of them black things on his wrist.
Yes.
So it's marked in a different way.
Yes. Reaper would not leave a physical mark. It would just take you.
Gotcha.
I will do more research, though, because I have an idea of what it might be. Is there anything else you can help me with identification?
It was pursued by a banshee, pretty sure.
You hear like silence on the other end, like he's processing what you just said. You've never seen their face before.
Yeah.
But you feel like they're like raising an eyebrow at that because of the silence. A banshee.
Yep. Looked all ethereal and creepy and shit, screamed and caused some serious damage.
That is also not what a banshee's supposed to be doing. All similar, like cross paths with someone getting ready to pass away. They are overcome with grief. They defended
us? Yeah.
I will have to look into that as well, and also update the core on that one. And you see, like, he's like, it sounds like he's like physically checking something off on their end. I was like, okay, any other form of identification?
Shadowy armor, wide green eyes, hood, typical spooky stuff.
There's something missing here. Shadow manipulation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
I will get back to you. I feel like this helps with narrowing down. I will get back to you tomorrow, either morning or afternoon.
Okay, I'll wait for your call.
Take a moment, Mo.
I can't.
You can. Everyone is deserving of that. You've all been together for 2 years, and I have watched y'all for 2 years. Losing an extension of yourself is not easy, and everyone is within their right to feel what they are feeling.
I am well aware of what losing myself feels like. This is not the first loss I've ever dealt with, and it won't be the last.
Lean on your team as they lean on you. And with that, he's going to hang up.
Hate it when he does that.
All right. With that, Mo, do you go to bed?
Yeah, I stay up for a little while longer, just kind of staring at the wall, deciding whether I should tell the team or not.
Okay. I will say, unless anyone has anything crushing that they have to do, I'm going to say it goes to the next morning. You wake up The smell of bacon, eggs, croissants, probably some sort of dough being made in the kitchen. Keisha is making food. Madison is sitting at the table. Her head, she's in like probably borrowed clothes of some sort. Something like a hoodie, sweatpants, something that like looked very different from what she was wearing before, which was very like was it like bohemian chic, I guess is the best way to put it. And like now she just looks cozy. She's like laying her head down on the table, probably because she's hungover after having to drink for a little bit because she's been through some shit. I will also say, and I didn't note this, that like she did probably have a call with the detective to let him know that she was safe. All right, you will walk into the kitchen. You see the scene before you. What's going on? What's happening?
I'm gonna float over to Megan. First of all, I just wanted to say that I saw you do a bit of magic. It's so good to see you sort of following in my footsteps.
Oh yes, it's a new skill I picked up.
May I ask where you started learning?
Around.
May I also ask you why you've been so on edge since yesterday?
Just a weird feeling. Something here's not right. Several somethings I feel.
You see, I sort of took a peek, and I noticed that you were thinking about some sort of task that was needed for you to complete. Something very urgently needed to be done. What is it?
Willow is missing. We don't know what happened. Well, we know how long, but like, we don't know why. The longer we wait, odds don't tend to go in a positive way when we wait longer.
Megan, I'm gonna have you roll manipulate someone for me.
Okay. So then question.
Mm-hmm.
If I with my hoodlum action background, I get to use tough instead of charm. So
It was spicy.
Megan gets wicked defensive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are you asking all these questions, Cordelia? Oh, it doesn't matter.
So go for it.
That is a 5.
Okay. So in that case, it's up to the hunt to decide how badly you offended them. So Cordelia, how offended are you by Megan like stepping to you just now?
I don't think all that offended so much as like, oh, okay, we're getting somewhere.
Okay, so like, oh, so that's how it's gonna be? Cool, cool, cool. It's like the vibe. Okay. Millie, while this is happening, you hear that voice in the back of your head again. See? See? She's hiding something. Just look. Look with you. Look. And like you feel directed to look at where that knife is, if it's on their person. If you look, you can see so much more. Just look, just look.
Megan, this really isn't the time to lie.
I may have some extra incentive to look for Willow, but that is the task I am thinking about.
And that extra incentive is maybe we can help you, unless you want to do this alone and also die. It's up to you.
I don't know if I can be helped with it.
And I'm pretty sure Ezra thought the same thing.
That I can't be helped, or that I may have not done the most strategic thing.
I'll let you decide. Either way, I just want to help you, and it's really unfair to be keeping anything at this point, especially. And then they like gestures like to the entire table, which is more infect like the entire situation.
I made a deal on a job, or for a job, when I didn't know who I was making the deal with. So now I'm just kind of figuring that out.
Megan, dear, who? You didn't know who it was, or what?
Initially, I thought it was someone who had hired me for a job. They could do some pretty scary shit, though. Um, I don't think that they're human. I didn't know that at the time. I willfully ignored it for a bit because they kind of benefited me. But I don't know. Ezra didn't know.
Benefited you how?
So you may have noticed about 3 months ago, I got a little bit better at interacting with people and just a little bit better at spooky stuff.
Similar to how Herman got a little bit more financially stable, or how Gwen got perhaps a little bit better at heart surgery.
I don't know. It seems different. It didn't target me last night. Targeted Mo.
I shot it in the face.
Keisha like turns like was willfully trying to ignore the tension in the room while like making eggs. So it was just like, okay, this is not my business. But then when it's like, oh yeah, it targeted Mo, and then it's like, what do you mean it targeted you?
In the essence of bearing our secrets, and I just kind of lift my wrist and pull my sleeve down.
How did that happen? Like when you were barely gone for like 10 minutes. Like,
Yeah, well, I pissed it off. And I wasn't going to tell any of y'all, but you're right. It's time we started trusting each other a little bit more. We've been together for a long time. And I know we ain't always got along, but I trust you. And everything I do is to protect you. I want y'all to know that.
Let us protect you too.
I'm working on it. It's not my strong suit. I have a recording from Ezra. I can play it for y'all if you want, if you're ready. Or we can save it for later.
Play it, please.
Agreed.
So Mo takes out her phone and plays the audio that you heard before. And it hits hard because you hear the distress in his voice. You hear the urgency in his voice that he needs to get these words out, these final words out to y'all. You hear about there's a magic tracker on this entity. And you hear that he was being pursued by this thing and that he was extremely, very far off from what it was. And that there were sigils in his journal that he sketched out that he was going to check out later.
We also learned not to use our names.
Which y'all seem to know except for Mo.
I'm on the straight and narrow.
All right. I would say when you re-listen to this, Mo, roll sharp. And Keisha might notice at the same time.
11.
Good. When you got to the coroner's office yesterday, you used your name.
Mm-hmm.
Your full name. So you're wondering if someone heard you, or a small town, people sometimes come in and out of the coroner's office. It was written down on a sheet. You're not sure. That's the only time you remember saying your name out loud. As well as to the cop, I guess, if you want to like put that in there too.
Yeah, I mean, cops are suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. No, be okay,
Don't
sorry.
be suspicious.
Sorry, broke that in character. So she's just like, is that the trigger for you being marked? Your name is enough?
I don't know. I talked to Theo, and he had some ideas too. One, it's probably not a Reaper. Almost definitely. It marks things with a physical way. And that apparently isn't what Reapers do. Don't ask me how they knew that. I don't know.
You remember him chuckling very deeply, and it was kind of creepy, to be honest.
It was creepy. It was creepy.
Could
Sorry, go ahead.
could it be Ezra said something, it was luring something here. Could whatever that is leaving the marks be like luring a Reaper here to do things?
Did someone want to search that?
That could be put on our to-do list.
I can have you I can say that you can do that because you're in a space. You have the folklore book. If you want to look that up.
Okay.
I'll look it up.
Or ritual. Do the ritual book. Like that would be the closest one. Roll investigate a mystery with a +1.
That is a 12.
Awesome. Yes. So you get hold 2 on that ritual book.
I muted myself, sorry. I want guess what sort of creature is it again? If something that can lure a Reaper with a mark.
Okay. Are you asking what creature would lure something with a mark, or what was lured to the mark?
What sort of creature would lure a soul-sucking entity to a mark?
A human.
Okay.
A mortal, or someone that like does not have enough power to do it themselves. Did you want to ask another question?
I have hold too. What
Yeah,
type of thing would it lure?
You cannot lure a Reaper this way. To lure a Reaper, so like same thing with a demon of a high level that can do this. What Reapers are like, not even like you probably could not. You would have to get several magic practitioners. And you would have to do it at a spot where without a doubt someone will naturally die.
Got it.
So like, oh yeah, this person's getting ready to pass away in the hospital. I know they're going to die in 2 days. So if someone's going to come claim them, and then you have to set that up, and that takes a little bit of time. So that's a lot of moving parts. So luring a Reaper is nearly impossible. And you have to be able to catch it and see it, and it's kind of hard to see Reaper. Unless they choose to be seen.
I'm guessing I don't get information on what could be lured.
I can give you that. I will give that to you because you got a 12.
Okay.
Are you looking at the sigils? Do you want to bring out the sigils?
Yes.
Okay. So I would say that you bring out the sigils because you're looking at the ritual book. They would have those markings in it. So you first look at infernal sigils. They do not match at all. These sigils, you're not very knowledgeable in them. Like, you know a little bit, you're still like kind of learning. But they don't look like any arcane language that you know of that would be used by like magic practitioners and stuff like that on a regular basis. But it is some type of magic entity. You think that they are otherworldly or from another realm that would not be mortal.
Does it match the sigils on the dagger? Or like same style? Yes.
Yes, they do. You see that you don't know what they say because but you think that it is a trap for a fae. And you haven't seen pictures of it, the ritual site, because it's on, I think Ezra stated that he took pictures of it. But if you might see those pictures, you might be able to figure out what type it was, as well as how high level it is.
I think we've stepped into something much bigger here than we thought.
What do you mean? Keisha says, and then you see Madison like raise her head, like, what is it?
Ezra said that he left a note to me that it was either a god, a demigod, or a fae. These sigils match. There was a banshee, it was a fae, almost protecting us. I think that there are two very powerful entities at play, and they are not happy with each other, and we are in the middle of it.
Keisha like pours out the eggs onto a plate. She's like, well, fuck. So little magic disturbance my ass is what I'm hearing. Should have gotten a team then. We shouldn't have just sent one person.
We tried.
I'm not blaming anyone. No one knew. It's kind of hard to figure out when it's other realm things, just in general. We know all about infernals. We know all about celestials. Things that are like on our plane, but not. still kind of sticky.
You want to bet those pictures are on his phone?
I bet. So are we going to the police station, or am I to call him and meet somewhere else, not the police station?
Not the biggest fan of stations. Besides, the stuff we got to talk about, I have a feeling it's not meant for other ears.
Do we want to go to the cemetery? I mean, it's earlier in the day. Maybe with the detective there, it would be safer, but maybe we'll find something else there. And it's isolated.
It's a good idea. And if something pops up, we haul ass, yes?
Yes.
Yes, we will fight this thing, but when we know what it is and how we can kill it.
Well, I agree with everything. Do we have to involve this detective?
He's got the phone and he's got information. He said there's other things that he wanted to tell me.
Okay, that's fine, I guess.
Did
Me
you
too,
tell
shit.
us? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So did you tell us about who you told your name to?
No, not yet.
Okay.
But that is a good point. You said that Cordelia, you said that doctor had something else he was hiding.
Yes, he felt as if he was afraid to be found out about something.
The only time I said my name out loud was at the coroner's office.
He also made the connection about being marked for death. And Millie and I did give him a fake name.
Good. Keep that fake name.
I don't think he bought it, but I'll keep it.
Roll sharp for me.
Who?
Megan and Millie.
Seven.
12.
Okay, so you both passed. All right. Some in varying degrees. All right. So when you said your name, even though you paused, right? Like you're just like Jane Jackson, Cole Shaw, like you said them. And the receptionist knew immediately that you were lying. A little too fast, actually.
Can I just do a quick, what do I know about Faye?
Yeah. What would that be? Investigate a mystery. What?
Okay, no, just Millie and I.
I'm so sorry.
Me making faces, excuse me.
So
Investigate a mystery, so plus sharp, that is a 10.
Okay. What would you like to ask? You have 2 hold.
Uh,
Muted.
Can I ask what happened here in terms of, say, giving something your name?
When you give something your name that is not human, I guess is the best way to put it. And sometimes some humans, some magic users, you're giving them power over you.
Mo, dear, I do believe that.
You have 1 more hold if you want to use it.
Oh, yes, I do. One moment, actually. We'll put a pin in it.
Take your time.
Take your time, no worries.
I guess, based off of knowing that it's a fae and so like somewhat limiting what we like the scope of things. What can it do specifically with the name given?
Depending on how you offered your name will depend on how it can be used. So in the case of Mo, just knowing the name is enough to do something with it. Luckily, she did not hand over her name.
So yes, Mo dear, I do believe that while you did not relinquish your name, you did, at the very least, key this figure in on who you were for sure, and so that you did give it some semblance of power over you.
Excellent. Got to be careful about that.
Wording will be important.
I do think that it's odd. You gave the receptionist your name, and we gave fake names, and they knew almost immediately. Sometimes I'm a bad liar, I'll admit it. But I also was a thief for a little bit. It's a little bit of skill there.
Sounds like we need to go back to the coroner's office.
Okay, so what would you like to do? Would you like to go to the coroner's office or meet up with the detective? Or would you like to split up? Okay, so which one are you doing?
I think we should do the detective first.
I think
Okay.
we should do the detective first, yeah.
Okay.
At the very least, we get that phone back.
All right, cool. So you meeting up at the cemetery with him? Or are you going to meet up somewhere else?
I feel like the cemetery is a bad idea because the car is there and he's going to get distracted by that.
Up to you where, like, you just have to call him and ask where you want to meet up.
Is there like a... No, go ahead.
That's where Ezra was found. Like, they already know that the car was there.
Yeah.
It's not like it's new info for him.
They just haven't like looked it over?
No, not yet.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Well, if that's the case, then yeah, I don't see why not.
So you want to go to the cemetery?
Sure.
Okay.
Does Jazz want to go back to the cemetery? No.
That's fair. All right. So you're all riding to the cemetery. You call up the detective to tell him to meet you there?
Yeah, I'll call him.
Okay. Yeah.
Yo, Damien. Detective Damien, I guess. You wanted to meet up, right?
Yeah, I guess, he says back.
Well, me and my team are investigating the cemetery if you want to meet us there.
The Jacksons, correct?
Yeah. The Jacksons.
Right. Yeah. Meet you there. Why the cemetery?
Wasn't it the place you found Ezra?
Normally people don't want to meet at the crime scene. They want to meet, like, I don't know, like...
We're private investigators.
You hear him, like, it's just like just the air of like, that's not how. Like he's like, sure, yeah, the cemetery works for me.
Okay,
I'll meet you there.
Yep, we're headed there now.
All right.
Like,
and I'm going to say that you all do you leave Madison there? The safe, the panic room is still active. So
okay, then yeah, I want to leave Madison at the panic room.
You leaving Keisha there?
It'd be smarter to take her with us because she knows the detective, and I feel like that would get him to talk to us. But also, I don't want to leave Madison by herself. So
Madison's marked. We shouldn't leave her by herself.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay with her. I might like reach out to a couple of people maybe to help out if possible.
Yeah, if you could find like a way to get gold bullets or gold weapons in any way, that'd be great.
I'll call the Corps, I guess, to see if there's gold bullets. I don't know, like, no, just in general, like I never really thought about it before and never needed them, so it's fine. I'll ask, or something to help. Y'all go out ahead. And I'm assuming y'all eat, because you have not yesterday. And you head out. You go drive to the cemetery. When you get there, you see that he's already pulled into his car's there. It's like a few spaces away from Ezra's. He's standing in front of the gate of the cemetery. Hey. Wait,
Hey.
Cordelia, are you visible?
No. Should I roll for that though?
Yes.
It's a 9 on the die, so a 12.
Okay, so yeah, you are able to do that just fine. I like how when it matters, not scaring people as a ghost that don't need to be scared by ghosts, you come through, you pull through. All right, cool. So you're invisible right now. As soon as you get out of the car, and you're like, "Hey, is this your investigation team?"
Yep. The Jacksons, introduce yourselves. Like, give like a pointed look. Like, don't use your real
Millie,
names.
did you want to do something? Because like,
Oh boy.
No, they're just waving. They're being polite.
oh,
just-
okay, so hey,
Megan puts out her hand. Jane Jackson.
nice to meet you. I'm Detective Damian Lucas. Pleasure. And you?
Janet Jackson.
Sorry. Oh, shit. Like,
The second.
breaking my character several times in a row. He takes his stage action. He just stares at you and rolls his eyes to the ceiling, like so, to the sky. He's just like, "Are you fucking kidding me right now?" Like, okay, enough of this. Like,
Our
there
mom
is.
liked Jays, okay?
I know that there's no such thing as Jacksons. I looked it up already. I have a computer and a phone. Like,
The best private investigators can't be found online. We do things in secret.
roll to manipulate someone.
I would like to help.
I would also like to help.
We're
What does that
we're
help
extra
entail?
private.
What does
Weapon?
that-
It's charm.
Okay. Ooh,
what
are
does that
you
add
sure
to
it's
my roll?
charm? Oh, it's plus cool. I still have a -1.
Oh, to help out.
regardless.
Yeah, plus cool.
I got an 8.
Oh, you got an 8. Megan, what did you get for your charm roll?
So not charm, tough.
Oh, right, tough. All right. So you're
Uh,
you're intimidating a cop. All right, go ahead. Yeah, by all means.
So I got a 6. So with the +1,
Okay, you got a 7.
yeah.
Plus, we got one from Millie. Mo,
I got a 7.
another one. So like,
I got an 8, excuse me.
so
I
is that
can't
a
do math.
9?
For
You
me?
went up- Yeah, you helped
No,
like
it's
2
an
points
8.
up.
I had already included Millie's when I give you the number.
Oh, okay, so it's an 8 for
Yeah.
all total. Okay. Since you're talking to a normal person, they'll do what you ask, which is not ask questions. If you do something right now to show that you mean it. Like,
Megan's gonna go and like start like looking at the crime scene and being like we need pictures. There's pictures on the phone.
oh yeah, I bought the phone, right? Yes, Jackson's Incorporated, by all means. And then like he goes into the graveyard, and you either follow him or he's following you in. Either way.
Megan's leading the way.
Okay. It's like, so I had wanted to talk to you about Ezra. Like the last time I saw him is what I wanted to, because I know things aren't normal. witness gave a interesting testimony. I don't know if I believe it, but it is odd based off of the crime scene and a couple of other things. Ezra was asking some very pointed questions that made me rethink a lot of things.
Like what?
He had brought up he had brought up Harmon. I knew something was off with Herman, his passing, but it just looked like a normal sudden death, some sudden death. And he was just jogging, and he had come to me the day before because he was scared, but he said he felt he was being followed, but he didn't know by who. And I said I was going to meet up with him before he went on the jog, and he left before I got there, and I don't know why. And then I was terrified by what happened in Madison, and it sounded similar, and she was scared the same way. And then she wasn't at her house. So I was terrified that the same thing was going to happen. Ezra,
how long have you been in town, Detective?
I moved here about 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Why?
Investigators ask questions.
Okay. Ezra was asking about interesting questions about Herman passing. What happened before? Was something weird before? Did you see any markings? And I had to double check the markings on the coroner's report. Yeah, there were. Those wrists. And yeah, like I don't know where Ezra left. Well, I know where he went afterwards, but he went to talk with Rose, if I remember correctly, after meeting up with me. But he didn't seem scared. He seemed fine. He seemed healthy, happy, like as happy as you can be, I guess, investigating mystery. But yeah, he was supposed to meet up with me the next day, but
What about Willow?
what about Willow? Oh, like what we talked about with Willow?
I mean, yeah, she's missing. I mean, I just want to know what happened before she disappeared.
Willow went missing about 3 weeks ago, and last thing I heard, they were traveling from their job, which is the coroner's office. I'm not sure they were supposed to go home, but they do have another job, which I checked out as well. She works at they work at the, sometimes we don't have that many deaths again, but recently, obviously, the funeral home. She's a mortician there, but apparently she didn't go there. She just came from the coroner's office, was supposed to go home. Didn't show up. And Rose reported them missing. Not even the 24-hour mark, 12 hours. So yeah. Ezra was kind of telling me about, or kind of alluding to the spooky side of things, which I didn't really believe them, to be honest, until I saw him for myself.
Spooky stuff.
Yeah, spooky stuff. He was trying to do that thing where like he's like, "Do you believe in ghosts?" And I'm like, not really. And he's like, "Are you sure?" And like he was very funny, but he was trying to, I guess, gauge me, I guess is the best way to put it, if I would believe this stuff. And I don't know if I do, but and you are like, while this is happening, y'all are walking into the graveyard. And he gets to So in the there's the actual site where Ezra was found, which is like a kind of like a mortuary, like what was it, like a mausoleum in ruin. And then there is like the ritual site off to like another part of the cemetery. You can kind of see it. A lot of people probably attribute it to like kids doing graffiti. And he walks over to the crime scene and he kind of gestures. He's like, yeah, like that. We're not sure what that is. Like we thought like kids just did some random shit. Someone's supposed to clean it up, but never did. And he also like takes out Ezra's phone. You see like the blue case and the minor cracks on the edges because it's old. And he's like, I'm going to give this to you, but keep in mind, this is still evidence. I can't open it. Clearly you can. He like gives it to you. Yes, Cordelia.
Who would be the closest from the detective right now on the team? The furthest away. Sorry, who is standing the furthest away from the detective?
Oh, I would say it's either Megan or Millie. I think Mo is like walking alongside, I guess.
I will float on over to Millie and, as quiet as I can, just whisper, ask him when the new medical examiner came into town, or how long he's been here.
And they nod. Excuse me, detective?
Yeah.
Do you know anything about the new medical examiner? How long they've been here? Things such as that nature?
Let me give me 1 second. Where is it? Aster. I'm assuming is who you're talking about. Person that stepped in for Willow.
Yes. Them. Please.
He's been here for a while. They've been around the same time together. This is Willow's boss. So they've been working together, I am assuming, they've been here longer than me. So I've been here 3 years. They've been here for maybe 5 years, maybe 6. So they work with each other.
What about his secretary?
Jesse, if I remember. Around the same time I got here. She's been around town though. She just started working at the coroner's office like 3 years ago. I would say 3. Yeah. Why are you asking about them?
I was just curious.
Okay, let's not beat around
You
the
believe in
bush here.
ghosts, Damien?
Was that the same thing I was gonna say?
Do I believe in ghosts? I'm
Retcon,
starting
they
to.
say it at the same time.
They say it at the same time. It's just like, wow, okay, that Jackson spirit, I guess. I don't know at this point. Ezra was gonna tell me stuff about whatever this is. Then Madison told me about a dark figure just dressed in shadows coming after her and a scythe, and then I saw how scared she was. And she witnessed Ezra trying to get this thing's attention away. And then I come to the scene because she technically reported that he was missing, I guess. And he was at the cemetery. So something killed Ezra. But I don't know what to believe anymore. Do you know something, anything about what that might be? Is it true? Was there a figure cloaked in shadows stalking her through the woods.
We saw one.
Yeah.
Okay. What did it? I can't believe this. What did it look like? What did it do? What is it? What is it?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
Honestly, it kind of looks like a reaper, like what you'd expect death to look like.
Yeah. Okay. And you see that he's like trying to process what you're saying. He's like, okay. Now what do you look for? Is this what you do? Is you hunt weird shit like this, Jacksons?
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay.
We investigate. We're just investigating stuff that most people don't believe in.
Okay. All right. I don't even know where to go from here. I'm usually like, again, like hunting down a perp that like a murder like victim and helping to. This is
It's
there's
the
no
same. It's the same thing.
I have an idea.
Okay.
Millie, at the ritual site, is there any chance that you could view what happened there? Who did it?
I mean, I guess that can be in my purview. It wouldn't hurt to try.
I mean, it might
Up to
hurt
you.
you.
What now? You can see what happens.
Listen,
Also,
the
above
investigators are
game.
talking.
Did Megan say Millie, or are we just like
Ah!
pretend?
That's true. I'm sorry. So yeah, you
Megan
did
said
say
Millie.
Millie, and
Megan
it's
said
like,
Millie.
is it Janet or is it Millie?
I have a lot of
We were
nicknames I
all
would prefer.
very suspicious. I know you're trying to help. I know you're doing the right thing. Let me be very clear. But the changing name situation, the Jacksons that don't exist, like clearly you're hiding something.
Names are powerful things. We're trying.
Yeah, what? Like, what the fuck does that mean? He's just like, a name's a name. What are you talking about?
I mean, a name is powerful to some supernatural entities. That's why we were asking you about the coroner's office. I used my name there.
Okay.
I used my name there.
Okay.
And now I'm marked.
What are you talking about? Like, he was like, what do you mean you're marked? How's that work?
I'm gonna need you to open up your mind a little bit.
All right. I will. I get it. I came from Philadelphia. I hunted murderers, missing persons. I came here. I heard a story about a smoky, tall figure chasing someone through the woods, and I thought it was fiction, and it's not. And you're telling me you're being marked, and what do you mean by being marked? Can you imagine that I might need a moment to open my mind a little bit? It's like elastic at this point to like expand my brain that much. But I get it. I'm gonna trust y'all with this, but holy shit is all I'm going to say.
I actually think you're taking this really well.
It's been weird for the last 2 weeks. I'm down for anything to solve this, to be honest. And I really just hope it's like a elaborate serial killer prank or some bullshit, to be honest. I know people are dead, but I'm hoping that it is just a person dressed in.
How does a serial killer cause a heart attack?
There are medicines and look, there's like
Without
injections that can.
There have been autopsy reports, haven't there?
Yeah, but like if you don't know what needle mark to look for, of course you can like interject like a poison that would kill someone immediately and make it look like a heart attack. That's a thing.
That y'all looked for already, I'm guessing.
Yes, we looked for it.
And didn't find it?
I get it. Fine. I am opening my mind. And he goes to the ritual site. So Millie Janet Jackson, one of the two. Please, I don't know how you do whatever you're talking about.
We call them Millie so that they don't get confused with our actual Aunt Janet Jackson.
Right. Sure. Go ahead, Millie.
Cool. Let's get this use magic, baby. Oh boy. How does math work? That's a 9.
Okay. That is you didn't use magic, right?
Could I attempt to help?
If you want to, or you can give it to me so I can put a glitch on it.
No, that's fair. No, I'm sorry. Take it.
No, it's entirely up to you. Like, no, that's that's
okay.
totally fine.
No, take it.
I'll take it then. Thank you for giving me that. So, what glitch would you like to apply to that, Millie?
Let's see. Because I like keeping things feral, thanks, Monster Heart. The magic draws immediate unwelcome attention.
Okay, sorry.
You're just giving those cliffhangers now.
Thank you.
Listen, we have to build the cliffs so we can hang off of them.
All right, so I'm gonna let you do that. So you're trying to see what happened here.
Right. Observe another
time.
place or time. So time.
So you're going to the ritual site, which is a few paces like in another direction. Like it looks like there's like circled, like it looks kind of odd, to be honest. It's not like it's on a flat surface. It's like it's at an angle, but you have to stand a certain way to see it lined up in a circle with on the tombstones and stuff like that. So someone like practiced this and did a really good job to line this up. I'll just give it to you. So you can see that there's like 3 or 4 rings of sigils. Some like the closer to the center, it's like clustered together tightly, and as you get wider, it gets like looser. It looks like it's red. Like it's like a red paint, but it looks like it's faded a little bit. Millie, you would know that this is a very powerful, like any magical, like inclined person here would know that obviously cemeteries are very rife with a lot of like energy to use. But because you see this paint, you're not sure if it's paint, to be honest. You're pretty certain that it might be blood. You're not sure what type of blood. It could be like animal blood, it could be human blood, it could be old blood, whatever it might be. But you know that at least it was fresh at the time in order for this to be effective. And yeah, it looks like a lure for a very powerful entity of some sort. You're not sure. You kind of incline that it was a fae trap of some sort, but you're not sure what type of fae would be lured by blood, because other fae traps are normally like, when you think of a fae, you think of like a fairy or like a cute thing is what a lot of people think, and usually it's something like sweet or like cute that you're offering kind of thing. So like honey is usually used, similar things depending on what they lean towards, but what you're not sure what would be lured by blood. So that's interesting. And then I'm gonna let you do, like, you rolled well. You gave me a glitch. I appreciate that. So what you see, you do hand motions. It's like the air vibrates essentially, with like energy only you can see. And it's like the air kind of turns like a tinge of blue, purple, like kind of indicative of a different place in time, like a different instance. You see someone dressed in, I'm not gonna like be stereotypical and have like robes or something like that, but it just looks like they're faded out. You're not quite sure who that is. For some reason, it's kind of weird. You can't see them. They're a tall person. You can kind of see their shoes, though, for some reason. It's like it's an important marker of theirs. They're very nice shiny shoes. Like they're like probably like goes with a nice suit of some sort. And they are, you see them like time lapsed making um uh this circle. And you can tell that they are being as accurate as possible to make sure that like, hey, I can see it from this angle, but that person, whoever I'm trying to lure, cannot, so that I can catch them. Because if this was like a very clear lure, it would not have worked. As you see that, you see them then lying in wait, kind of standing behind like cover. And then, hold on. Hold on. I feel happy about this because I feel like this is the perfect time. I'm trying to get the, there it is. You see this person after this, like this person that's like hiding. One moment to everyone. After you see this person lying in wait, you see a person kind of walking down the path to this area, and they feel odd, like they're like looking around, they're like vibing a little bit, they're just like, huh, what is that? Like they're like they're looking for something. This person has long red hair, brilliant green eyes, and a freckled face. They're pale. And they look down and they smile when they notice, like, they feel like there's an offering for them, is the best way to put it. They like, oh, I found it. And then they walk into the center of this trap that they don't know is a trap for them. And you see several domes like appear as they get to the center of it to trap them. And it seems like it as a dome, and then it triangulates over their mind, essentially. And then it's like they lose, not consciousness, but it looks like they just shut down, but their body doesn't. And then this person that's hiding in the shadows walks up to them and says, "Thanks for joining the winning side, Willow." And then it fades. And you saw all that, Millie. Now, before, as you're fading into this, because you gave me a wonderful gift of the glitch, you all hear, I would say, like, that the detective's like, well, I just saw you move your hands. Like, what did you do exactly? Like, I'm curious. Just as he's like saying that, you hear a woman's voice kind of appear from the tree line, and they're like walking down. It's like, I kind of heard people over here. Is everything okay? And you all look up and you see a woman. I'm just giving you all the people now. Hold on. All right. You see a woman walking down, and this woman has like long, like ombre hair of like dark brown to light brown, piercing blue eyes. It would be very familiar to you, Megan, that they're so piercing, but instead of it being like uncomfortable to stare at, they're very warm, inviting. Kind of the opposite is the best way to put it. But you still get that familiar sense when you look through them. She's wearing glasses. And she looks very meek and quiet, but she's walking towards you. She's like, and she's carrying flowers. And she's like, oh, I didn't think anyone was going to be here. Hey, Damien, nice to see you. And then she looks at Millie for a minute. And I'm going to have two people roll two things. Well, two people roll one thing. Millie and Cordelia roll sharp for no. Roll weird for me.
goodness, golly gracious. A 9.
Got a 9. Okay, nice. Okay. Millie, she looks at you. Your sight activates for a moment. Her eyes are replaced with Ezra's a split second, and then they go away. So instead of blue, they turn into like, I think it's this dark brown or something like that. But it's for a split second. They have similar glasses on. They have very similar looking glasses. It just happens for a split second, and then it's gone. Cordelia, you're invisible. She's looking across everyone and stops at you for a split second and then goes back to looking at Mo. Or like, no, the detective. And it's just like, hey, I didn't, well, this is a cemetery, anyone can be here. But yeah, I just bought flowers for someone that passed not that long ago. And then she's like, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Rose Riddle. And that's where we're going to end for today, everyone. Thank you all for your awesomeness, for playing feral at the right times. So good. All right. It's been a pleasure, everyone. I am Sade Smith Edwards. I am your storyteller and keeper for this evening. You can call me Sade or Ambrose, pronouns she, her. And you can find me on Twitter at @SSAmbrose_. And we're going to go through our casts again. Iris, who are you? And where can people find you?
Yes. Hello, my name is Iris Wyndham, pronouns she, they, and you can find me on Twitter at the link below. You can also find me on Instagram. I'm a voice actress, and so yeah.
Cool. Vin, who are you? Where can people find you?
Oh, joy. Hi, guys. I'm Vin again at VinVoxVA on Twitter. I've got a lot of things coming up this week and next week, so just check out my Twitter for announcements, casting calls, and what have you.
Awesome. Red, who are you and where can people find you?
Hi, I'm Mischievous Red. I can be found here on Twitch at twitch.tv/MischievousRed or on Twitter at _MischievousRed, streaming my own stuff. Yeah, I appear on a lot of different channels, so Twitter is also probably the best place to find where those things are.
Awesome. And last but certainly not least, Jess, who are you? Where can people find you?
Hey, I'm Jess. My pronouns are she, they, and you can find me on Twitter at Cinderscoria, CINDERSCORIA. That is mostly where you can find me yelling about K-dramas, K-pop, and TTRPGs.
Awesome. So thank you all for joining us and watching us go through this mystery with the twists and the turns. We are going to be raiding Exquisite Corpse with some GRTW alumni. So like hang tight for there. We're going to be helping someone with the raids. But thank you so much for watching, hanging, and going through the roller coasters with us. It's been a pleasure. Take care and see you next week.